Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for this very special Get Ready With Me. I've started a new series where I'm highlighting makeup artists here on YouTube and trying out their techniques. So after I did the first one, thank you so much for joining me for that one. So many of you requested this particular makeup artist who I also have followed and loved for so many years, LISA ELDRIDGE. So if you're familiar with her work, you know how light-handed she is with her makeup, how precise and specific she is, and that she has a reason behind every step that she does. I love her patchwork technique. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go see it. But I've kind of been doing my makeup like that for a while now, and it probably was based on something that I had seen her do in the past, where I just strategically add concealer, foundation, etc., just where I need it and not everywhere. So I love learning from her, and I was fortunate enough to receive some product from her that we will be trying out today. So thank you so much to the LISA ELDRIDGE team for sending some things over. If you don't already know LISA ELDRIDGE, make sure to go and subscribe. I will leave the link to the video and her channel below, but she is not only a makeup artist to Hollywood royalty, she's a makeup artist to royalty as well. So she is well versed in makeup, not just application, but history and the science of makeup. She's very passionate about what she does and is also really interested in all of the nuts and bolts that go into creating makeup, which is why I was really excited to try out, especially her foundation today. But we have some other things to look at as well. We are featuring a specific video of hers today because I'm 50 years old. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are not new here, you already know how old I am, but I'd like to try out techniques that makeup artists highlight for people, especially my age, to see how they work on a real person and to let you see what application might look like on someone who's not a makeup artist. So this one is Ageless Feature Defining Makeup. We're gonna go ahead and unbox some of the items so you can get some close-ups, and of course we'll try them all on. Thank you so much to the LISA ELDRIDGE team for sending this package over. I'm not quite sure what's in here, so we're gonna find out together. And I wanted to try their foundation, but I wasn't sure what shade. So we have lots of samples here that I think will be really helpful in case you ever wanted to try her foundations. Of course, I'll swatch them all for you. We've got the shades number 9 through number 24. So the light medium and the medium range. This is an intelligently formulated skin-friendly foundation which has customizable medium coverage which can be dialed up or down. It's self-setting and it blends effortlessly to smooth and unify skin with a noticeable soft focus effect. The formula contains a natural mesh-like ingredient which completely fuses with skin after blending. The final finish is neither dewy nor flat matte, but something skin-like and in between. And we have here the light medium range. Starting with number 9. Number 9 is a light medium foundation with neutral olive undertones. Number 10 is a light medium foundation with neutral undertones. Number 11 is a light medium foundation with neutral golden undertones. Number 12 is a light medium foundation with neutral rosy undertones. Number 13 is a light medium foundation with golden undertones. Number 14 is a light medium foundation with rosy undertones. Number 15 is a light medium foundation with neutral golden undertones. Shade number 16 is a light medium foundation with olive undertones. I think it's clear that the finish is truly neither dewy nor flat matte, but something skin-like in between. We've got the medium shades here. This is number 17. It's described as a medium foundation with golden olive undertones. Number 18 is a medium foundation with golden undertones. Shade number 19 is a medium foundation with neutral undertones. Number 20 is a medium foundation with rosy red undertones. Number 21 is a medium foundation with neutral red undertones. Number 22 is a medium foundation with neutral undertones. Number 23 is a medium foundation with golden olive undertones. And number 24 is a medium foundation with terracotta undertones. And this is exciting because this is the latest launch. These are the liquid Lurex liquid eyeshadows, and I have 2 shades here. We've got Zora and Liza. So this is a new shade. This is in Zora. And this is a liquid Lurex eyeshadow, a rich, deep, sumptuous, cool-toned chocolate bronze with an irresistible blend of smoky silver sparkles. And I really liked that this was a cool-toned brown. That's the applicator. That's a beautiful shade. It has like a mocha kind of tone to it, and it looks just gorgeous. It went on really evenly, very smoothly. The ultimate easy-to-use eye embellishment with a flattering formula that is both creamy and lightweight. Liquid Lurex eyeshadow has a lustrous wet look finish with a durable shine. Each of the 11 seamlessly blendable shades contains a mirror ball blend of multicolored pearls that dance across the lids. And then we have Liza, which was an existing shade, it looks. An intense charcoal shot through the silvery flashes of stardust combined with a heady mix of magenta, violet, blue, green, and disco ball silver pearls. That looks stunning as well. Both really beautiful colors. I prefer cool eyeshadows, even though I am warmer toned. I feel like you can see them a little bit better on my eyes. We've got 3 of the True Velvet lip colors. The shades are Velvet Blush, Velvet Muse, Velvet Ribbon. I love the packaging on these lipsticks. It's like a brushed gold, really beautiful tone on the gold as well. And I know she loves jewelry, so this makes a lot of sense that this gold is a beautiful gold shade. This is one of the True Velvet lip colors. It says, paint your lips as an artist would with these highly pigmented True Velvet lipsticks. They're described as a phenomenon, a work of art. Each bullet has the appearance of a beautifully plush velvet fabric, one that has to be seen to be believed. These are matte lipsticks, revolutionized with a saturated Technicolor formulation and a creamy texture with a slight sheen that's 3D and luscious, not a flat matte. So intensely pigmented, it's easy to create either a one-swipe graphic lip statement or pat gently for the ultimate subtle lip stain. Cutting-edge lab tech has enabled the creation of a very long-wearing, non-drying cream, which feels lightweight, silky, and comfortable to wear. I don't know if the camera's capturing that velvety finish, but it is a really unique finish if you have not seen this before. And this is the shade Velvet Blush. Just a beautiful color. It's a deep pink berry inspired by the flushed hues of Rococo Artists' Essential Boudoir shade with muted cool tones. It doesn't get prettier or more feminine than this from a flushed lip if applied as a stain to a full berry pout. We have another velvet. Here we have Velvet Muse. Velvet Muse is a sensual, smoky rosewood shade with the perfect mix of pinky brown and dirty rose undertones to make this shade super wearable across a variety of skin tones. If this were a perfume, the top note would be rose, the heart notes would be cedar and saffron, and the base notes would be musks and woods. Another beautiful shade. This one is Velvet Ribbon. This is a vibrant universal classic neutral blue red. This is the one classic pillar box red that every woman needs. I named it Velvet Ribbon because when I think of this shade, I always think of a velvet bow. Yeah, those finishes and shades are just beautiful. And then we've got the luxuriously lucent lip color. The shades are Painterly, Palazzo, Spirited Away. It says back by popular demand. This easy to wear creamy formula is a sheer moisturizing lipstick with a balmy feel. It's a sheer to semi-sheer buildable coverage lipstick with a satin finish. Delivering in one swipe, you can also build the color to create a more radiantly polished look. This ultra-modern, comfortable, and luxurious texture feels smooth, light, and pleasurable on the lips. This particular shade, Painterly, is inspired by age-old artists' pigments, a deep mauve chocolate hue with a blue undertone. It enhances lip tone for a just-bitten look. Another stunning shade that looks like it's going to be a My Lips But Better kind of shade for me. And it comes across as a little bit more berry once I swipe it on. Next up, we've got Palazzo. This one says, take a Roman holiday with this rich, deep, neutral red inspired by the interiors of the richly decorous palaces of Italy, as regal as a Renaissance portrait, yet as exhilarating as a ride through Rome on a Vespa. And on this particular series of lipsticks, you can see the Lisa Eldridge logo embossed on the lipstick. Lovely. That looks like a little bit like a punch color. You can see there's a bit more warmth there than, say, the Velvet Ribbon, which is more blue based. And then we have Spirited Away. Spirited Away is a very modern rosewood which traverses the color spectrum from brown to red to pink with a warm tone underscoring, enhancing natural lip tone with a touch of vibrancy to make the whites of your eyes brighter and your whole face pop with a healthy glow. That's my favorite kind of lipstick that impacts the overall look versus just a color on the lips. I think that's amazing. These are all really beautiful shades and shades I would select. So I think they're all going to be winners, of course. We'll try them all on in the video, but I'm excited to see how they look on. So again, we have here Zora, Liza, Velvet Blush, Velvet Muse, Velvet Ribbon, Painterly, Palazzo, Spirited Away. Okay, let's go ahead and try everything on. Just like the previous video in this series, I'll be watching a little bit and then I'll be repeating or applying the techniques that I watch. So I'm gonna watch a little bit and then we're gonna apply. She started by prepping the skin, so we're gonna go in with Chantecaille's Anti-Pollution Mattifying Cream. And I love this just to smooth over this area here where I have a little extra texture. Also takes down a little bit of that shininess right in the center. And then she started with eyes, so no foundation yet, just eyes. And she went in with a taupey color. When I looked at the color she used, I've watched this video, I think 5 times maybe, but I still can't remember everything. So that's why I have to watch little sections. It made me think that this would be a good one to use for this look because it's quite neutral. It's one of the new Tweed shades by Chanel. I know these videos went out a lot at the same time, so that's why I held off on using this, just because I didn't want to oversaturate what was already out there, but I thought it might be a nice time to include this. So we're going to go in with this first shade here, this taupey shade, and she took a fluffy brush and she just kind of put it all over the lid. I'm going to skip primer today just because she didn't use any, or if she did, I didn't notice. And she just applied it with kind of a fluffy brush all over. We're gonna try on her eyeshadows at the end, but I did want to try this with some powder shadows today. So you can see there isn't much happening there, just to lay down that color. Really pretty one, by the way, if you want a nice, really simple one and done that just provides a little bit of color. It's just the faintest sheen on this. It's a really pretty shadow. Okay, and then she went in with a little bit of a deeper shade. She actually mixed a couple. So we'll try this first, this shade in the Tweed palette, and see if I need to blend it with this deeper shade. Let's see how it goes. But she just took a brush and just made a bit of a shadow over here on the end. Just, oops, I went into the deeper one on accident, so I guess let's see. And then she went into the crease a little bit and up to the brow, not up to the, but towards the brow bone. And her brush was much larger because the model, really beautiful features. Her eyes are much larger than mine. So I'm going to stick to the smaller brush. By the way, I'm noticing these shadows blend really nicely. You can see how they just kind of fade into each other. Really pretty. I haven't watched any videos on this palette. Yeah, I just like to wait until I get an impression before hearing what someone else thinks. It's like a second skin-like finish on this shadow. It's really pretty. And then she used a clean brush. I love this. I just need more brushes for this to kind of blend everything together. Okay, and then she took like a lighter shade. Really liked this Cougar palette. Let's take this lighter shade, that vanilla shade, and let's use that. I'm running out of brushes, so let's use this. This little Wayne Goss brush. I think I failed to mention, this is the Cougar palette that I took this color out of. This is by Chantecaille. It's a beautiful, beautiful palette. Then she took a deeper color, so I'm going to take this deepest shade in the Tweed palette and go underneath the eye. And I noticed she put a little on her hand first just to kind of control the amount that's going to go on. And she used that to make a liner and then also act as a guide, which is something that I have done. I probably saw her do this. That's probably why I do it. And I just go up into this area here. It serves as a little bit of a roadmap as to where that little bit should go there. Okay, next she took a cream liner with a brush and lined the eyes. Now I don't have a cream liner, but do have a pencil. This one's by ESUM. It's the gold brown one, so I'm gonna use the brown side. I have this ESUM, oh, another ESUM product. It's the V09 brush. I'm gonna use that to apply the eyeliner, really close to the lash line. And then she kind of made it a little bit more pronounced towards the end, but really close to those roots. You can see on my eye, if I go towards the middle, all you see is this shape like this. It goes up. So I really try to stop here, at least on my eye shape. Just taking the brush against the pencil. Next, she took the shadow that she placed underneath the eye and blended that into the eyeliner. Now, I took the deepest shade, but I want to blend these two because I think it's going to be too dark. So I'm blending the two together, and then I'll just blend it in with this eyeliner right above. And I'm quite curious about this pink shade, so I'm going to take a little bit of that and add it to the center of the lid. Just a little bit. Okay, that's sparkly. Okay, just a little. I don't particularly love that. Something I didn't really want to do, but I'm glad I tried it, knowing that I don't want that. Not at least for this look. I like the three brown taupey shades together though. Then she went in with mascara, and I noticed that the mascara she does, she really builds it up at the base of the lashes, and then it's very tapered at the end. It made me think of this Chanel mascara that I recently picked up, the Noir Allure in 10 Noir. So this is dried a little bit and has become a little easier to use. So let's go ahead and do that. She curled the lashes of the person she was doing makeup on, but I don't curl my lashes because they curl really nicely just with mascara. I can't recall if she tight lined, but I feel like for me, my waterline on the top really is evident. So that's why, because I feel like there's a really big difference. I think maybe because my eyes are dark too, I can really see it's very prominent. So after my mascara dries, I'll probably go in and tight line. I'm not used to going in this order. Usually my face is done first, but we're gonna go in with foundation next. Yeah, it just doesn't look done without my eyebrows, but we're gonna go in with foundation. I'm on the back of the card. There was a QR code to watch how to find the correct foundation. So there are different undertones in these cards, and I think they're not available all the time, but I wish all companies would do this so that we could have a chance to try and really find out what our shade is in that line before we purchase, because for me, I've made so many expensive mistakes purchasing the wrong foundation, and I don't return things because I know they'll just be thrown away. So I also don't like to waste. So I'll just keep it for things like texture and wear, even if it's the wrong shade. I was playing around with this and it was interesting because I have so many different shades on my face, and I'm still not sure. So she said, if you're not sure where the shade you think you are for a while, like a day, and see how it wears with the rest of your makeup, and then try another shade if not. So she said there's about 5 wears in each of these, and I would like to purchase at least one shade as soon as I figure out what that is. I'm going to take shade 18 though and just test it in the middle because, yeah, this is a lot deeper than I thought it would be, and I'm not as warm as I think I am either. So just taking a little of this, 18, let's see how this goes. So I tried this before I washed my face. And 18 is a slightly deeper than the inside of my face, so we might look a little bit more tan today. Yeah, now I'm not sure because I looked, it was like a different shade before I took a shower. It was more red, and now it's not as red. So let's take 17. There's this whole way you can test right here as well, but there are just so many different shades on my face. It's really hard to pinpoint. Maybe 17's better. Okay, let's do 17 for now. And then we'll do some on the exterior that's a little bit deeper. Yeah, 17 has this golden tone to it, but my skin's a little red these days. I don't know. It's strange. Yeah, I think 17 just for the tone, because 18 is just slightly deep for the center of my face. I like this texture. It's one you don't have to set, but you can see that's quite warm there. I almost wonder if I'm between 17 and 18 right now. I noticed there's also a foundation brush that she has, but let's see if this one works. This should say though. Yeah, this definitely sets by itself. Reminds me a little bit of the finish of, say, the Chantecaille Cushion foundation. Reminds me of that. So that one is another one that doesn't have to be set. I'm gonna take 18 and take that a little bit higher onto my forehead. And then almost 20 was, see how much like redder and deeper my forehead is? So 20, even 20 looks a little bit light for the top of my forehead. That's how far off the shades are on my face. And the technology in here blurs a bit. So she said, let it settle in a little bit. And I really feel like this is very much a skin-like finish. So I think her description was really accurate. So far I have 3 shades on my face. I started with 18, went to 17, and then this is 20 on the exterior. And this is definitely, I'm so much more tan than I normally am. So that's why this is a little bit harder for me to figure out, because I feel like normally I'm not in this area of even this range. I really like the texture though. It's really smooth feeling. So I hope the swatches helped you in case you were looking for this foundation and didn't know what to pick. And this is 19, just in case you were wondering. I feel like all of those tones are on my face somewhere. The olive and the golden and the red, I have it somewhere on my face. So it really is like what is gonna work best. And I feel like 17, yeah, definitely powder is not required. It has set really beautifully. Oh, she also did a little bit of a gentle glow on the cheeks. So I'm gonna go in with the Chantecaille Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint just on the high points of my cheekbones here. Really subtle. Let me also take the under the eye as normal. And I missed that she had highlighters. Let me know what I should try. Chanel Water Fresh Complexion Touch. And this will work really nicely with this foundation because I also don't set with this either. Setting is not required for me with the Complexion Touch. Okay, let's go in. I could have used B40 with as dark as this is, but I can't find it right now. But I'm gonna go in with my Clay de Peau concealer just to cover my spots. But she has a whole patchwork video, which I think is really interesting. And she talked about how, especially if you have something like this, to have a jagged edge. So you don't have like a perfectly round circle, or else that's what sticks out. Going with just a bit of La Prairie. She didn't do this, but I do this. So I'm gonna just add it here really lightly. Then over here. Okay, she went in and just added a little bit more depth there. So I'm gonna take these two again and just take a little bit more of that deeper shade and add it to the exterior. I'm gonna take the medium shade here and just add it a little bit higher up. And then we're gonna take a little bit more. We're gonna take this shade now and just buff this out a little. We're gonna add some mascara to the bottom. One more run through the top. Okay, this is so interesting because the foundation must be darker than what I normally wear because now my concealer looks a little bit lighter, but we're gonna add blush and then we'll go from there and see if I need to fix anything. But I love the finish and feel of the foundation though. I just Don't know if I landed on the right shade yet, but we'll keep trying. But I'm glad I have these samples, the little packs, just to experiment and see. And she used a cream blush, so we're gonna use this one by Monica Blender. This is in Wien. It's the Liquid Flush Cheek Tint. So I'm just put that on the back of my hand. And then she took something bright in the inner corner. So I'm gonna take this Hourglass palette. Okay, oh, this is the butterfly one, by the way, one of the new ones. So I'm gonna take this shade right here, this brighter shade, and that one is number 4, the Finishing Powder in Diffused Light. It's just really subtle. And then she did brows. She went in with pencil first, but I'm gonna do the usual order I apply. So I'm gonna go in with my gel first. This is Dior Show Onset Brow in 32. Then going in with the Florisys pencil. Oh, by the way, if you watch her patchwork, I think it's from the patchwork video where she does her brows with, I think maybe 3 different products. I'd love to try that someday, but it's like a powder or a pencil and something else I can't recall. Like a pen maybe? And then she used a bronzer. So I'm gonna go in with my Chanel, this is the Sunkiss Medium Oversize Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder. And in her video, she actually put on the lip before the bronzer, but I wanted to try on all of the lip shades. We'll put them all on. Let's start with the more sheer shades. These are really beautiful. When I swatched them all, I thought, yeah, these are ones that I definitely feel like are all gonna look really pretty on. This one might be closest to my lip shade. Let's try this first. This is Spirited Away. This is the one that says it enhances natural lip tone with a touch of vibrancy, and I agree with that. I think it's such a pretty shade. And it also says, this is the one I was curious about because it says it makes the whites of your eyes brighter and your whole face pop with a healthy glow. That's a really beautiful shade. Next, let's take Painterly. So Painterly is cooler, but it's still pretty. Different than the vibrant kind of pop of color you get with the previous one, which was, that was Spirited Away. And this one is Painterly. Next up we have Palazzo. Palazzo is gorgeous as well. I knew I would love these shades. I went ahead and turned the air conditioning on for a moment and switched my battery out and refreshed my hair with the Dyson. And I powdered, not because it's oily, but because it's hot and I'm perspiring. So I did powder through the middle here with a little bit of the Perfect Blur powder by Chantecaille. We are going to go in with the velvets though, right here. So I'm going to take the shade Velvet Muse. Did I buy this once? I feel like I may have purchased this. Maybe. But it's a beautiful shade. Beautiful shade, and if you're not familiar with this formula, it is really comfortable. There's nothing drying about it. It's very hydrating. Always make a bit of a mess trying on lip shades. This is Velvet Blush. This is a gorgeous shade. I love this shade. So pretty. Again, this one is Velvet Blush. Okay, this one might be my favorite shade. I think this is like my perfect fall kind of shade. Okay, and the final one is Velvet Ribbon. Gosh, this is so So, so pretty. It doesn't look as blue based as it did on the swatch here, but let's see how it looks on me. Usually I will gravitate more toward like a warmer red, but if it's somewhere in the middle, it actually works out quite well. So let's see. Then I'm gonna just run this, wow, that's stunning. I'm gonna run this Q-tip here. Gorgeous, this is Velvet Ribbon. Okay, let's go in with the eye products. Now I'm gonna need to remove this lovely eyeshadow. So let's take one last look. I love this Chanel palette, by the way. If you were thinking about it, it has such a very subtle finish to it. It's not quite satiny. It's less than satiny, but it's not matte either. It's kind of like the finish of this foundation is what it reminds me of, but really pretty, really easy to use. Love it, blended beautifully. So if you were thinking about it, I would recommend that one, but I'm gonna remove that so we can try on the eye products. Yeah, that's as much as I could remove. We're gonna go in with this liquid Lurex in Zora. And she just applied it just like this. Oops. It's hard to do with mascara on already, but we'll do it. And then you just have to work quickly. You can use a brush, but you can also use fingers. And then we're gonna go underneath as well. Actually, I saw her, if you watch her video on these, I'd like to try some of the lighter shades too because she used them together and that looked really pretty. But this reminds me of like a liquid version of something like the Luminescent Eye Shades by Chantecaille. Very similar reflective quality to it in that it has intermittent shimmer, but this has more of like that wet look to it. That's the difference because immediately that's what I thought. Super easy to blend. I don't know if you noticed how smooth that was blending on. This is such a pretty one, Zora. So I was looking for one that I could wear every day or something really super easy and kind of cool. And that was just using my fingers to apply. You can see. Really easy product to use, and I did experiment with this a little bit earlier this morning and wore it all day, and it didn't crease, didn't do anything, didn't move. Beautiful product. So I just feel like everything I've tried of hers is such high quality. In fact, we'll talk about the lipsticks in a moment, but this, I'm so impressed with these. I want to try more of the shades. Like I said, a lighter shade might be kind of nice to try out as well, but this is probably the one that I will use the most. I thought it'd be too much with the red lip, but I actually like it with a red lip. And one thing I really like about something that has a little bit of a glow, it's that it doesn't have to be perfect because it kind of refracts the light so you can't see exactly where it begins and ends. Really pretty. Okay, let me remove this so we can try on the other shade. Going with Liza, the gray shade. I kind of wait till it feels a little bit more dry and then I'll start kind of pulling it out a little bit more. Beautiful products. So first we tried the foundation, really lovely texture. I love how it feels on the skin, very lightweight. It does have that blurring kind of effect because I didn't put a whole lot of concealer on there, but it just kind of blurred the front part with the darkness. I'm still trying to settle in on the actual shade though, but definitely the medium right now, card 1, was the closest. I might go into the card 2 of the light medium as soon as I start to lighten up, but I'm very tan compared to what I normally am, but lovely foundation. I would definitely recommend that if you are wanting to try that. I hope the swatches helped. And then we've got these 3 shades here. First 3 I tried on that had that more sheer formula to it. These are the Luxuriously Lucent lip colors that I tried on. I loved Spirited Away. I really think it did what it said it was supposed to do, which was to give the complexion a pop as well as brighten the eyes. So I love this for an everyday lip or anytime lip. This is just such a versatile color, and I love that it's such an easy to wear kind of finish. Really beautiful. Then I would probably go in with Palazzo because it has that brightness to it. It's got a redness to it, but it's not too overpowering, not that dramatic, but it really does just pull everything together. And then my third choice would be Painterly. It's beautiful, but it's a little bit cooler for me. But if you were looking for like a medium toned cooler shade, I think it's really pretty. Then we tried on the velvets. Beautiful formula as well. I feel like since Lisa Eldridge does have so much, not only passion, but background in the science of makeup, that's why these are so good. We've got the Velvet Muse. If you wanted something lighter, then this is really beautiful. And I think this was my favorite one, Velvet Blush in this formula. Really stunning on, especially like I said, for fall. So between that and Spirited Away, I loved those. And then this was stunning, stunning, stunning Velvet Ribbon, the one that I have on now. Really gorgeous. So I didn't know what to expect with this, but it's beautiful. Eye products. I'm so glad I tried these. Yeah, I want to see what they look like layered with some lighter ones. I've got Zora here, the more chocolate one, and the one I have on now, Liza, is this one right here. So if you're looking for something that's gonna give that like wet look, but stay in place and just make the eye really pretty and be super fast in terms of application, I would definitely recommend these. They don't move, they are beautiful. So, you know, I'm not a sparkly person in terms of any finish, but this is really beautiful. I feel like there's a purpose to the intermittent shimmer in here and that it looks like a wet look kind of finish. Stunning. So I hope you enjoyed seeing everything on. Let me know what you already love by Lisa Eldridge, what you want to try by Lisa Eldridge, what you think of the tips. If you tried any of these tips from that video, let me know. Thank you again to the Lisa Eldridge team for sending everything over. I'm excited to figure out exactly what shade I am, and then I will definitely order one. And then I would like to try the brush. Let me know if you've tried the brush, because I know it was made specifically to go with that foundation. I think the Shiseido brush works really well with it, but I would like to see how the that flat brush works with this. And then I forgot to try a highlighter, so let me know what else I should be trying by Lisa Eldridge. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.